I'm violinist Tomas Kotik, and I'm very excited to share with you my new recording, Telemann 12 Fantasias for Solo Violin. Behind me you can see the City Council of Hamburg. Telemann was buried at the Church of St. John's Monastery, which used to be there, and now there's a memorial. I recorded this album right after having recorded Bach Sonatas and Partitas for Solo Violin. Those pieces were written only 15 years before Telemann's, but were unpublished. Unpublished was also Vivor's Passacaglia, and the major work that I can think of written and having been published before Telemann's Fantasias are the 6 partitas for solo violin from Johann von Besthoff. I recorded this album similarly to Bach's Sonatas and Partitas, with a violin with a modern setup and a Baroque bow, researching the treatises in order to explore and know more about performance praxis in those times. Here, Telemann lived the last 46 years of his life. In 1735, he composed the 12 Fantasies for solo violin. This is part of his output for solo instrument. He also composed 12 Fantasies for solo viola da gamba, for flute, and 36 for harpsichord. Telemann was very prolific. He composed over 3,000 works. Imagine that's 3 times the amount of works that Bach composed and 5 times the amount of Mozart. He was better known than Bach and many of his contemporaries. After his lifetime, his music went into oblivion. So did Bach, Handel's, Corelli's music. Yet the music of Bach was revived 100 years later, while Telemann's had to wait 200 years until his music was heard, published again. Here in the background, you can see the 5 churches where Telemann worked. He was in charge of writing the music, organizing the concerts for all those 5 churches. Later on, he also worked for the opera. Telemann was for the most part self-taught in music, and he played so many instruments, going from violin and cello to recorder, an early version of the clarinet, harpsichord, organ, lute. He even was a very good baritone singer. He went to the University of Leipzig to study law, but eventually settled into a career in music against his family's wishes. And he composed so many different kinds of pieces, going from secular works, chamber music, concerti, and suites, to religious works, oratorios, cantatas, and settings of psalms. While Telemann's career was thriving, his personal life was troubled. His first wife died after only 2 years of marriage, and his second wife had extramarital affairs and accumulated a large amount of debt from gambling. Telemann had a lot of different passions in his life. He loved gardening and spent a lot of time in his garden in Hamburg and exchanged bulbs with renowned botanists in Europe. And he also enjoyed poetry. Through his life, he published books of poetry and even a satirical novel. I'm truly fascinated by these fantasias. As the name indicates, they are very free, they are improvisatory, they are inspired in dances that were heard across Europe. We're speaking about the Galant style, a very light yet virtuosic movement. And the doctrine of affections, which was in vogue in these times during the Baroque, indicated that music was capable of inspiring different emotions in the listeners. I hope that my new recording will show all these profound and different emotions that music can convey, and I hope you will enjoy it.